Greetings, fellow Demon Slayers. This is Taimanin Mari here today with another Action Taimanin video. For today, we're just gonna do something like a little different. I'm just gonna I guess we'll call it what, like a wish list? Yeah, that's what we'll call it. We have Tack and Ark on the call, so I'm gonna just do like random gameplay, just so you guys aren't bored while we chat. And we're gonna talk about things we think should come to Action Taimanin. And, if you have anything you want to add, feel free to throw it in the comments. Because I just want to, make a wish list. I kind of want to see what people want from the game. It can be characters, it can be functions added to the game, or what have you. So, we'll get right into it. I guess we can start with characters, since that's the easiest.
Well, the obvious choice of Orc Sammer.
Oh, no, it's Orc-chan, according to you.
Orc-chan. No, it's Fleshwall-chan and Orc Sammer.
Oh, it's Fleshwall-chan. Yeah, he wants Fleshwall-chan to be a character. Why is Fleshwall a Chan?
I don't know. I think it was you sent me one picture of I think it was Murasaki in a Fleshwall. I'm like, why is that not playable?
Well, I'll be satisfied that my Yuki killed their Yuki, and then I will surrender the fight against their emoji.
Oh, you went against a JP player.
Yeah, I was like, the fight started and my Yuki hit them so hard. I was like, perfect, my Yuki's still better. And then after their Yuki died, Emily came out, and then I hit surrender like a bitch.
I think, but a serious playable character. It would be nice to have actually like a joke playable character, like maybe like what is it? What's his name? What's that fucking what's Yuki's boyfriend called? Is it Tatsuro or whatever?
Oh my god, I don't want Tatsuro in the game.
No, but like a couple of like joke playable characters who are really bad, like Orc Sammer, like one random orc who's not evil or something like that, just for a joke. And then maybe like Tatsuro or something. Just make them deliberately like challenge mode characters, you know what I mean?
No, because the characters we keep getting are already challenge mode. They can't work in tower that well.
But on a serious note, it's what's the name? Is it Saya? I think it's Saya.
Yeah, I want Saya too. I want Saya, our Saya Neo.
And what's the name? Is it Saika, that supporter? I think her design is actually really amazing. But again, like that's like probably the only ones that I genuinely know, because I'm not really that familiar with the franchise. And I believe everyone wants Mari, because Mari's adorable.
I don't know if I want Mari at this point.
I mean, there are people that want Mari, and like the same thing with what's her name? The chick with the rocket launcher.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Micah?
Oh, Micah? Yeah, a lot of people want Micah.
I wouldn't mind those. That'd be cool.
The only reason I don't know if I want Mari is because I don't want to play myself.
You mean your cousin?
Well, it's just because our names, both Mari. There's literally no relation to that character too, which is even weirder. Like I got my Mari name from somewhere else before I started playing Action Taimanin or any Taimanin games. I've been using Mari since like the year 2000, so it's weird that we have the same exact name. But yeah, she is my cousin.
I would also like to see like grown-up like versions of the characters, like a grown-up Sakura skin, obviously adult Yukikaze skin. But they could be done by skins rather than full characters.
Honestly, the adult skin thing, though, I don't know if it'll ever happen. Like, the problem is because we have 3D models. Like in RPGX, it's all 2D with sprites, so it's really easy.
Sprite works a lot easier than 3D models, obviously.
Then they just have to have their artists whip up time skip art of but it's not even adult Yuki. Apparently, that Yuki is a clone, like someone who played the game or whatever. Came into the server and they did, the whole puts finger on glasses. Well, actually, that's a clone. That's not actually grown-up Yuki. That's a clone the UFS made or some crap, and they ruined the whole adult Yuki thing. Now it's just a clone of regular Yuki.
Whatever. It's still what Yuki's gonna look like grown up. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's meant to be a grown-up. I just think it just has different hair.
And then obviously you could do obviously like if they did do that type of thing, like a in Prime, what's her name, Shiranui, stuff like that.
No, the young Shiranui, that was actually young Shiranui. The thing with the Yuki though is since it isn't actually adult Yuki, it could be a skin for our Yuki.
Well, even then, if the thing is if it is actually a clone, that actually again opens up the channel for it to be actually a playable character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could just be another playable character, but we've gotten off subject. The characters I want. I want. Well, we said Saya, right? Yeah, because I really want Saya bad.
She's adorable. The picture you sent me, she's adorable.
Yeah, I really hope they keep her spider form in the game too.
That could be her, what's it called? Ultimate like Sue, where she goes into a different form.
But my main one, right? Like I want Shizuru, so I could have Team Twin Tails. So I could have.
I remember you telling me that yesterday.
Yeah, I have Kirara, Kurenai, and Shizuru as a team, and then they'll be all blonde with Twin Tails, and I'll be happy. But like, for a more serious note, I really want Magical Girl Lilith to be a character. Because she's like their mascot that they never mention because Asagi's more popular.
I have no idea who that is. I'll have to Google her.
Yeah, she's a little itty bitty waifu witch. Like, and I want, God, why am I drawing a brain fart now that I'm in the middle of the video? Anna Rose, that's it. I need Steel Witch Anna Rose to be a character. Like, because she's a character in RPGX or whatever the other game is. They did a collaboration, and it's like, that's another thing that's on my AT wish list in general, is some sort of collaborations. Like, they need to, like, even if it's, like, in-house stuff where, like, they just get characters from other franchises within the company. We need some sort of crossovers because all these other gachas do them.
Like, if they were going to actually, like, want to do a proper, like, collaboration, I think there's obviously, like, some series out there that are, like, genuinely, like, that would be almost tailor-made for them, like was it that Kengon Saga or whatever? Is it Saga? I can't remember the name, but
Senran like
DOA, yeah, or something like DOA. They're like kind of like so tailor-made up the alley of action Taimanin, if you know what I mean. They would actually be no one would bat an eyelid if say like Ayane and Kasumi from DOA was in this game. Nobody would bat an eyelid about, oh yeah, it's a suitable fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is, and it's like they have so many like properties within their own company that aren't Taimanin they could mix with. Like they could use Prison Battleship, and that could get us some more range characters because the chicks from that hentai use guns, and they use like I guess martial arts. It seemed like they could do when in the few fight scenes that happened between all the cultured stuff. So like it'd be cool to have them as characters, but I think Anna Rose would be like a big deal character. I really would like her. What?
I'm just looking at his magical girl Lilith.
She's adorable. I love her.
She's adorable, but she's a total like 180 on the usual art style.
Yeah, she's like just a random magical girl. That's their mascot. She's amazing.
Okay, I kind of want her just because.
I would love to have her around, like especially if her dash.
There you go. That's a new range card. Little magical girl just throwing spells out everywhere.
No, I would love for her to like be like her dash, just be her riding on her broom. It's like a little witch rifle. It would be so cute. But Tak, you've been quiet. I know who Tak wants, but I want him to say it.
Oh, well, for my personal ones, obviously, Ark doesn't want me to call her by that name, but I'll just say Good Overall or Masks Taimanin.
No, you can call her Masked Taimanin because that is her official name. I just think it's stupid that she's called Masked Taimanin when everyone knows it's just Young Obero.
But no one in the VN knows. They're just like,
yeah,
they just literally it's the Masked Taimanin, and it's like she has Obero's hair, and it's really obvious.
The problem is, it's the worst disguise Sailor Moon put on a tiara.
Yeah, I know. It's like, hi, I'm Serena Arusagi. If you're watching the Japanese version, and she puts on the tiara, and they're like, who are you? I have no clue who you could be.
What short TV show that we were? I think it was Fairly Odd Parents did a sketch of it and took the piss out of it when Timmy or whatever became like a magical girl in it, and one of the actual characters was there like, it was like the buck teeth has me concerned, but the tiara has me baffled. It's just like that's what it is. It's such a bad disguise.
But yeah, I could agree with Masked Obero too. I would like her.
Yeah, she'd be fine.
The only issue I would have with her is that she's also a dagger user, which sucks.
In all fairness, in all fairness, we've already got 2 dagger users anyway. That's not really an issue. Yeah, and again, let's be honest as well. It wouldn't really be that much of an issue, other than the fact they wouldn't do it due to loot boxes, because obviously they would lose repeat sales of loot boxes. Is simply due to the fact that they could make them share the same weapon. There would be no harm in it, other than obviously they wouldn't do it because it would affect their sales.
Hell, you know what? Throw that on my wish list. I do wish weapon sharing between like similar characters was a thing because it's a thing in like other gachas. Like in Honkai,
there's no reason.
you can put like so like if you have a Yae Sakura and a is it Mei? Yeah, it's Mei. So if you have a Yae Sakura and a Mei and Honkai, then they can both use any katana in the game. So like
Yeah.
I don't
It's
understand why
like,
like Renko and Asagi like can't
yeah.
share weapons.
Well,
But
the argument again comes along with, are you telling me Asagi, who is, I believe, lore-wise, the most powerful Taimanin, full stop, can't use a pair of daggers? Or are you telling me that Kurenai literally can't use Sakura's daggers? What the fuck?
yeah, and then I know in
Yeah.
the VNs like Shiranui is actually a like she's considered a weapons master. Like she can use multiple arms like to maximum
Thing,
proficiency.
the thing
Yet
is,
she's stuck with a pole arm. I
the thing
I
is,
wish they'd
like,
add weapon
here's
sharing.
the thing. It would actually add a new layer of depth to the game because you could have an actual proficiency with, let's say if every character could use every weapon, you could have, say, a proficiency. So so take Shiranui for example, she'd be like rank A in every weapon because it says she's proficient in everything. She'd be like a rank A in every weapon. So she wouldn't have a best, she wouldn't have a worst. She'd just be the character who can use everyone's weapons. Good. Or then take for example, say Sakura. Say she doesn't know how to use a pole arm. She'd be like a D in pole arms and like an S in dual wielding or something like that. It would actually bring a whole new layer of proficiency to the game, or a layer of depth to the game, which would be a really good thing to play around with.
Yeah, like I think this is getting a little too complicated, but I get what you're saying. They could do it. Like they could
Yeah.
just like make it as simple as like characters with similar stuff can use stuff though,
Yeah.
and that I would be happy with that. Just because it sucks. Like okay, if I go into Gacha and I like pull Gacha and get like Kurenai weapons, I don't even have her, but like imagine Sakura could wear them since they are basically just
I
dual
think the
wielding.
biggest example, as you said earlier, is why the heck can Rinko not use Asagi's weapon and vice versa?
Yeah, they even look
literally no
similar.
reason.
The
They're
only
both-
the only
they're both
thing about
katanas.
them is that like yeah, one has a sheath and one doesn't.
Yeah, they're literally both katanas. Are you telling me that because that all of Asagi's weapons, they don't have sheaths apparently? None of them at all would ever have a sheath. That's crap. You could bang up a sheath for it, and then Asagi and Rinko could easily use the same weapons. Like it's weird, but I don't know. Again, with like pole arms with Murasaki and a giant axe, you could classify them both as pole arms in a way if you want to be a bit lazy about it, and you could say, oh, Murasaki can use Shiranui weapons and so forth, and like I don't know, it'd be a cool little extra bit of depth to the game where have like proficiency with characters, with weapons and stuff like that. Because then you wouldn't be stuck with the problem like we have with not Obro, what's her name, Ingrid, where her URs are crap and her best weapon in the game is an SR. You wouldn't have that situation because she could say use one of Asagi's URs or something like that. It'd be a really interesting thing.
Yeah, but then we'd run into the issue of like certain stuff would be too good. Like if multiple people could use Kirin, for example, it'd be like
Yeah,
good.
but
Yeah.
that's why you would have to put like a proficiency list on it. Like I said, like Shirinu would be A in everything, whereas someone like Ingrid would be like S in long swords and then like a B in everything else with like katanas and whatever. It would be like balanced in the sense of you should weight them towards their weapons, but obviously you could use something else if you want the different style, that type of thing. And all it would really do is change their auto attacks, let's be honest.
Yeah, I guess.
Also, another thing, we're off the subject of characters, although I don't think Tack's given us his full list yet, has he?
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Yeah, probably the one character I want the most is Astaroth. Like,
Yeah.
the thing about, because it's not, it's like I know people are gonna say, oh, because like he wants it because of the plot, but no.
I mean,
because
yeah, she's very thick. Like,
yeah. That's one thing. But the thing I actually want her is because she's a mage specifically.
Yeah,
she's
would
like,
really like one too.
we don't have mages, and we only have we have very few range characters. We only have Yuki, Emily, and then Asuka is basically a half of it because she's a hybrid. But yeah, like, I personally would want Astra that are AP playable.
I mean, the closest thing we have to a mage right now is Kirara, and the
the
problem
thing is
no
Kirara could have been a nice mage, but they were like, no, Kirara runs up and punches stuff.
Yeah, as you said before, you were saying that even when she was on your wish list, there was no hint of her coming out. In all fairness, though, because you already knew what she did. But the thing is, like, Tack's right. Like, in a world where magic is clearly defined as magic as a thing, why don't we have a mage? It's like a glaring thing. We have melees, ranged characters, but why do we not have a mage? And I agree that Astaroth totally should be a character because she's really cool. In all fairness, she's got a really cool design. I would like to see her. It'd be quite nice. Another thing that I think is the major thing that they should at the very least do, because it's just common courtesy at this point for any game to do, is to give us a 3-month roadmap.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
that's something
I
I
knew
asked
the
yesterday.
roadmap was gonna happen. Someone was gonna say it.
We need a I'm sorry, but we need a 3-month roadmap. It's pathetic that we do not have one. Especially in the sense of how the gacha is, so we can't even budget out, or not budget, but judge our spending. We need a roadmap. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, because
Especially...
the thing is like all the other gacha games I play, they have a roadmap. Like for example, like Dokkan has basically the roadmap of for like half of the month, basically. Like, oh, here's what you guys are gonna do for the whole month until the next roadmap's gonna come out. It's like, and then but the Fire Emblem game also has a roadmap for the entire month. It's like,
Yeah, that's why I said at the very least like a 3-month roadmap. And yeah, if they don't get some stuff out, I know why companies don't give roadmaps. It's because they're afraid they don't get stuff out and they get flagged. But the reality of it is, as long as you're crystal clear with your community and you're like, oh, this has been held back because development issues, or this has been held back COVID, this has been held back whatever, as long as you're crystal clear, no one's going to get upset with you. Really, there'll be a few disappointment R's, but no one's going to get upset. And
yeah, people just want to know what's coming so they can plan accordingly. Like, I even found a roadmap for DOAX VV. Like, some people like post what's coming for the month in the Steam chat. I was like reading it last night, and I was like, man, even this has a roadmap, and the game isn't even freaking localized, like for real. So it's like weird, like because they want to have a YouTube presence. Like, and they have like their YouTube, they have their Twitter, and they have their Facebook, like for global. And then they have their Taimanin TV, and it's like a little frustrating that like the Taimanin TV videos still give more like, it's not the greatest, but they still give like a little bit of an advance notice. But if people, don't watch Taimanin TV, can't understand Japanese, or for whatever reason the video doesn't translate, because I know sometimes their videos like let you translate them and sometimes they don't.
Here's the problem with that, and for anyone who's watching it that doesn't know, we're talking about the Japanese Taimanin TV, not the English one. The English Taimanin TV gives us no information of anything until realistically speaking a day before the patch, where that's not useful. Where I think it was
no, because they did tease the event at the end of yesterday's video. It was like, okay. But it wasn't like how you're thinking.
Yeah, but
it was like they did the whole video, and then for the last 5 seconds they put the event splash art. That's what they did.
Even then, the Japanese action Taimanin TV video put it up. I think it was actually Tuesday, announcing like the new event and the new support that's coming out on. I think it's coming out Tuesday. I can't remember the exact day it's coming out. But they were outright saying, "Oh yeah, this is coming out by the way next week," and that's at least a week's notice. We essentially got the generic Friday video of. No just information. This is coming out. And I'd like to also point out, while we're on the subject of Taimanin TV, on that video, the one they released yesterday.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
you're gonna do it.
I'm not gonna say anything horribly mean, but I will say, at the beginning of the video, because it's a Q&A video, they say there's questions that we are not answering in this video, and they've been uploaded, and some of them pertain to things like will tower reset, are we going to get XY skin and all that stuff. The short answer, whenever they say we're not answering those questions, is no. Whenever they dodge a question like that or anything like that, the short answer is no. That's all I'm going to say about that.
But
so, we essentially have closest confirmation we're going to get that tower is not going to reset. Rinko's not going to get that magical Tau skin that everyone keeps wanting. She's not going to get a a cow bikini that everyone wants her to get, which kind of made
no. Because see, it wasn't just the cow bikini. I know someone on the video asked about the cow bikini, but they also asked about the cow costume from RPGX. I would love that because we already have the silly.
Oh Yuki, I remember it's the one that you sent me. It's actually here in like a onesie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a giant really cow costume.
Fairness, yeah, okay. In all fairness, that's actually really cute.
Because I'm looking at my Yuki reindeer costume right now. Because like I love silly costumes like that. Like that's what the whole reason I got this costume. As a matter of fact, Yuki, you wear this.
Okay, in all fairness, I actually think that each character should have one of those stupid costumes. Each character should have one of them that's just a stupid costume like that. So yeah, Rinko can have the cow, Yuki has the reindeer, as you said. They can all have stupid ones like that. That's fine. Just one costume that is absolutely off the rails stupid. But
while we're on the subject of it, what's really on my wish list is I do want stuff like the tower to reset. And I really think it's corny that they're dodging questions around it, because it's like, oh man, like, because this is one thing I want to talk about, which is kind of like off subject for like a few seconds. We have a big issue right now where the game was like, at first the game was just how it was, so like people were just like, well, this is how it is, and no one cared. But then we had this whole waifu war event, and the waifu war was introduced alongside this tower, and they were just insanely rewarding. So we had like this 1 month where the game was like amazing, and now that the game is kind of defaulted back to what it is, it feels worse to me than ever before. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The game feels really bad right now after those last events, and I just wanted to get that out there.
Are you trying to say that I was 100% right about them putting the blinders on people, about the Japanese players coming over and us getting fucked about the content that they haven't got, and now they're continuing on that as if nothing has ever happened, and it's just back onto the Japanese work schedule? And we have just,
I want to stay off of that, but because
missed the entire year.
People were talking in my Discord about the whole Japanese, like, how they're ahead of us. But, like, yeah, it's true, like, that's another thing that was on my wish list, too, since you bring it up, is I wish they would just, like, release these supporters to us. Because, as you can see with the new event, like, that supporter that we're getting next week is a new supporter. She wasn't out in Japan already. So, to me, it's like they're just kind of like business as usual. And whatever Global's missing is just whatever they're missing.
That's why, I think I said it to you the other day, I don't know if it was on video or not. Well, I would love it if they did like a type of, like one event every week, but obviously have them on a 2-week rolling schedule as always. And one could be a new event, and the other one could be a catch-up event, because then it doesn't alienate people who are left behind. And it gives people who are new, or who are older players, like us and like the Japanese players for that, something to look forward to. And let's be honest, turning on an old event for them is realistically as hard as flicking a checkbox. You know, it's that type of thing. So that's why
just flipping a switch. That's all.
Actually, it would be something like reset everyone's progress on it, and flick a switch. That's all it realistically would be. And that's why I think that'd be a fantastic way for that to happen. Because, as I said, it gives people who want like what's her name, the one that gives damage to demons and stuff like that. They can hope for her. They can genuinely hope for her. Where right now, I'm sorry to tell you this, but if you want that supporter, that was it Shinigami or whatever. What's the name? I can't remember a freaking name.
Wait, wait.
Oniguma. Oniguma.
Oniguma.
If you want, if you want Onigumo, the only way that you're going to be getting her now is you have to feed your supporters to that reroll station. That's all it is. Let's not call it what it is. Let's call it exactly what it is. It is a reroll station. So it's the exchange facility. That's what it's called actually in game. But
honestly, someone referred to it better last night. They were calling it the gacha the station that pretty much tricks you out of selling things for mileage. Because honestly, selling things, anything that you put in here, this little exchange station, because I'm actually at it right now. Would like the mileage would just be better overall because it'll eventually get you a Shisui. Yeah, it'll take like 6 years, but putting stuff in this station, like I've seen people get a payout, but honestly, like once I put 4 Mi's in here because I had a whole bunch of them lying around and got a Mi back, and I never used this again.
So I just thought of a crafty little strat, okay, for people. Now let's say if you genuinely do not give a toss about an event supporter, okay, you could sell that event supporter. You could sell all 5 of them for 250 mileage.
Yeah, you can. That's why that mileage from the event supporters is more valuable than putting them into this exchange station. You could realistically you could take and you could like go, oh, let's say they repeat, I don't know, Felicia, and people don't want another Felicia, and they go and throw 3 of their Felicias in here and get Felicia back. That's gonna just feel awful.
Yeah.
Like they should at least make it so you don't get back the same exact characters you put in. Like I'm looking at it right now because I want to. What is Shirayuki? Who is that? Is that? Oh, that's Elf Mom. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now to see what's actually because I haven't even really looked at this poll. I just don't think it's a good system.
Any event support we've had in a couple of gacha URs, it's nothing amazing. But the problem is, as I said, like really if you actually want Onigumo, the only way to get her, and probably is going to get her for a very, very long time, is to feed your supporters to that and pray. That's the harsh reality of that.
But the thing is Onigumo isn't even as good as she used to be because there hasn't been much demon going on where the event's been not to mention that
she's kind of redundant now due to the fact that unless you're in tower which is not going to reset anyway, so we know we're not going to be in tower once you cleared it, or a bonus stage. You're not going to need that type of damage boost. Any character can do it anyway within a minute. Let's be honest. Any character, even a mid-level character, can clear hard story within a minute. That's the thing there. So she's not really as needed as she once was, but she's still a nice thing to have for anyone that would want her, and I fully agree with that one. But Yeah, like the problem is, like, let's say if you are stuck in a situation where, again, you want someone like Felicia or Shirayuki, you've got to feed your support staff facility and pray. Which I said, like, if they did a rolling event type of thing where, you know, it gives everyone the opportunity to look forward to who's coming next week rather than have empty updates like we've had for the past 2 weeks. And two, you know, it helps people catch up. It is an actual genuinely catch-up system in the game for everyone.
Well,
which
this
is
one,
the main thing we're lacking.
yeah, the game does have really poor catch-up. I feel so bad whenever I see, like, brand new accounts in AT because they have so few supporters because they're not getting super rares every week. That's another thing on my wish list. When are we getting those SR tickets back? These gacha coins still feel bad.
Like, look at, for example, a good example of it is recently in videos, there's always been a few people who ask, how did you get that background? The answer is, it's from an event. So if anyone watching for the event, for the thing that sees Mario with a different background or Tak with a different background, whatever, they're from the Christmas and New Year's events. But if they, re-rolled them or did them every couple of weeks, whatever, they would eventually re-roll again and come around, so everyone would have another shot at getting the background. And yeah, who cares? Like, if they run a Christmas event in June, they can make a bit of fun at it and have a bit of a fun joke about it. Say Christmas in June or whatever. They could laugh that off because it's funny. Let's be honest, it's so out of season, it's funny. But
true.
That's the thing, is like, it just the main issue is it gives them something to catch up with, and it gives everyone a nice way to just everyone to have. Even players who haven't got it, like, let's say if they re-roll Felicia, yeah, I would sell the Felicias because, truth be told, Felicia's kind of shit still.
She's okay if you pair her with Yuzora, but I'd rather have a Yuzora repeat than a Felicia repeat.
Yeah, but it's one of the things. Yeah, I mean, she's so underrated, dude.
Yeah, she's so few
really people
good.
happen. Actually, no, it's not she's underrated. It's that she's underknown. Not many people even know she exists.
Yeah, because she came out like right where the game came out.
She was the very first event supporter.
Yeah, the population was really small back then.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I think just the main wish list thing, to go back to the wish list thing, I think the main thing that we need is just pure clarity. Take away the shroud around what's coming, all that stuff. Take away the fact that, you know, whatever they want to hide and all that stuff, and just be honest about, hey, this is what we're planning for the next 3 months. This is maybe some then they could even have YouTube channels, or like they could put on their YouTube channel teasers of concept art of skins that they've got coming. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those guys. I love seeing concept art. I genuinely, whenever, like, devs and all that stuff, whenever there's a limited edition book with something that comes with concept art, I freaking love concept art. I love looking at the original concept and how it planned out. And then even, like, when they talk about, there's a like, for example, League of Legends with Vi. One of her original skins that she came out with was going to have this really cool neon scarf. And then they talked about why it didn't have that. And I love listening to, like, the reasoning of why they had to change the design, or why this was changed, or was this, or the colors were changed in contrast. It's one of those things where it humanizes the development team, and it just generally piques people's interest who's just interested in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that too, because, like, when I played Honkai and Fallen Rosemary Rita came out, they did a whole, like, it was a short little, like, 5-10 minute thing. It wasn't a whole thing, but it was like, yeah, this is, you know, us working on her, and it just showed them like messing with her, and like, they're like, you could tell like a lot of love and care went into it, and it kind of made it like, yeah, it's one of my favorite characters now, just because I got to see like her getting designed, and I was like, oh, it's cute.
It's like on I think it was Dissidia, the first Final Fantasy Dissidia game, you know, the fighting one. There was like a thing there where they talked about Terra, and everyone was like, oh, why does Terra have blonde hair? And they outright said because the original concept design of Terra and the original art of Terra was to have blonde hair. But the only reason they changed her in Final Fantasy VI to have green hair was because her sprite would be an exact match of, I think it was Ryder's sprite. So they changed Terra to have green hair because she lost the coin flip. So at which point now the technology expanded and we can. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. It was just a funny way to put it.
Yeah, but now the technology's expanded, we're not using 3D sprite work that's so small like that. We can have two characters with blonde hair and they look totally different. So that's why in Dissidia and pretty much most other media that you see her in nowadays, Terra has her original blonde hair. And I love learning little facts like that because, again, it's just very interesting to see that type of thing in the development process. And it would be no different with AT or any skins that they're wanting to bring out or anything in general.
Yeah, I just went and killed the bonus stage 3 Tempest because I'm tired of not having this done.
I mean, it's going to go away on Tuesday anyway.
Yeah, so I was like, let me just do this now while we're talking.
I mean, better get it done on a stream rather than just like throw out a dead video of it where I could do Tempest, which is like, hey, we've all seen you do Tempest like 50 times at this point.
Another thing is, speaking of bonus stage, I hope they like at least keep adding those, and I hope they make them more rewarding than these 5 gacha coins, like in 100 tickets. Because one, by the time you're doing the bonus stage, you're probably already done with the event. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
two,
that's
gacha coins.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't totally devalue gacha coins like you do. I do see the value in them, and I think they're a great reward.
Yeah, the value in them is pushing the pity because they never give ultra rares.
Yeah,
no, they're not bad. It's just that like this could be awakening stones. That's what I'm saying. Like if you're gonna have me do tower like content, give me tower like rewards. Like and I'm not asking for like an upgrade mat, but like they could put like a choice of maybe like a little choice box where it's like you get 5 boxes and you could choose between like blue, red, and green.
Thing is, for the actual tower, for the actual upgrade stones and awakening stones, they could even just be lazy and add a 10th box in the actual event that just gives 15 of them or 10 of them or 5 of them or something like that.
You know what I'm doing right now, right? Now I'm mashing X or mashing the A button on the bonus stage because that's the other thing on my wish list. I wish that these stages were replayable. So I'm just hitting the A button over the X, knowing it won't do anything. But back to what you were saying, like as far as the awakening stones, like remember the waifu war? How they had that box? Yep. Actually, I can show it to people because I still have it. It was like a box to let you choose what stone you get. It's this. They gave us 5 of those. I would have rather the bonus stage drop this box where it's like a crystal kit, and I can just go, okay, I want 5 greens or I want 5 blues. I would rather this over the gacha coins, only because the event. Sorry.
I was gonna say either that or add like the crafting factory, add another level of it so you could just craft those things because
not in another level. Just put them. The problem is, I would say put them on the same level as friend things, but for a fact they would require those bloody like nano materials and stuff like that. The stuff that we can't give up because again we need them to make the skins. It's bad enough.
They're too hard to come by.
Yeah. It's bad enough it already requires friend. The only reason why we're not actually talking about what the actual sheer cost of those friend charms is because they actually just gave us a crap ton of them during the event, and we're all sitting on a load of them. But the fact of the matter is, again, when they run out, we're screwed again.
The thing is it's not even the friend tokens that I'm really much worried about. It's the fact of the matter, the nano and the what are they, fibers, nanometal and fibers?
Yeah.
Like that stuff is just a pain. It's a pain to actually get enough to do anything. Well, like it takes so long to just get those stacked piles.
Well, I said they're the exact same. It's ridiculously hard to get as character coins. Like for example, case in point, I have from starting the game and never using a single one from start of the game, release day of the game, I only still have 7 Asagi coins. That and 7 Yukikaze coins. It's that type of thing where due to the fact they're so random, you can't choose what you get. They're too valuable, and it's the same with the nano machines and I'm just going to call them nano cubes.
Yeah, but the coins was after the tower. Like if again, this only because I understand everyone hasn't cleared tower. People are in varying places, but after the tower, the friendship like tokens or emblems, they're a little more common because the tower did kind of throw kits at us for them.
Yeah, it's only because they threw. I think it was like 40 they gave us. They gave us 40 of our choice. It's only because of that we're not talking about the sheer cost of that. And that, again, is an issue in itself. Where, let's be honest, if they didn't give us them, neither you nor I would have an awakened character right now. Nor would Tak. None of us would have a single awakened character.
Yeah, the only people who would have characters like awakened would be Japan, because they've had like a longer time with the game.
Yeah, and they
were a year ahead of us.
That's the thing, because like no one realistically would have an awakened character because we just wouldn't have the stones. We wouldn't have the actual emblems, and that's again an issue in itself. Is like, if they do make them craftable, they should not. And I do fear that they will make them with the nanofiber because it obviously makes sense that since due to the fact that the awakening requires them, it makes sense that the other ones would require that. But I have a fear that it will, and I really hope it doesn't, because
they need to really, really come up with like a means of getting us these stones, because it's been over a month. Like since Tower came out, so the monthly reset idea is out the window. Now we're just kind of in like no man's land. Like when are we getting this content back? Like people need to be able to awaken their characters. I don't care about getting past Awakening 3. I just care about being able to awaken like more than like 3 people. So it's like, oh yeah, I awaken my Kirara. I'm completely out of blues. Great. And, like I can use my box to get 5 more blues, and then would that be enough to awaken Nui? Like once?
Nope.
It wouldn't. 5 blues doesn't?
Once. Once,
Maybe one
yes,
time.
but that's it.
Time.
Once.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, just once, right? Our 5 might
Yeah,
actually be able to do it twice. Isn't it 2 and then 3 for the blues?
Yes, actually, I think it is 2
Yeah,
and 3.
but like, okay, so like I could awaken Nui twice, for example, but then she'll just be stuck at Awakening 2 until further
Yep.
notice. Like that's literally
Which the-
all I can do.
Yeah,
And I don't like that like limiter. I don't
Well,
like having that limiter on me because this
Well, the problem
game
is, again,
never
being
limited
there, what-
leveling, and now it is.
Yeah, well, the thing about being stuck there as well is that you won't get the awakened skill because they have to be at level 81 to get that skill.
Yeah,
So
but
the
it's not
problem
even
with
about
that
the
benefit
awakening
has
skill.
that.
It's about like, it's about using the systems that they're giving us. So like,
Yeah.
what bugs me about everything they added in the Waifu Wars, like they added new systems and gameplay that we can't use. Once you're done with Tower, can't use it. Once you awaken a character so far, like you can't really use it because this is my issue. You need multiple characters awoken to get multiple awakening points to be able to abuse the awakening tree. But no one can get their feet wet in the awakening tree or the awakening like skills because we're limited on what we can awaken. You get what I'm saying? So it's all these nice things people can't really use and get their feet wet.
Yeah,
like you can only do so much.
It's essentially like they showed us a massive, amazing dinner made by Gordon Ramsay and said you can only have this little bit of it now.
It's like, it's the best thing you'll ever taste. You take one bite and then they swat the plate onto the floor and kick it for good measure.
Well, sorry that they just take it away from you. It's like you take one bite and they take it away and you're like, what? And you're like, yep, that's all you get, bye. And the thing is, it's true that we can't fully dive into the full potential of things right now. And it's really weird that they're doing that.
So, I mean, we've gone on for a little bit. I've done quite a bit of gameplay. Anything else, like, pertaining to Wishlist and what you want to see in the game? I think we've talked about.
I think just what I want to see most is honestly roadmap. We need to have some idea of what's going on and some idea of what they're doing.
Yeah, like better. I think better like communication overall. And I hate to like bring up the communication thing again because it happened around Christmas where people were clamoring for better communication, and then they did like start having that Mimi girl host the American channel. But it's still like it's really bare minimum. Like when I look at like the official channel for a game, Q&As are good and all, but I'm trying to see what's coming. Like I'm so used to other games where they're like, okay, like we're gonna put up a YouTube video. This is the new character. This is what she does, and they just show you in depth. It's not like a clip, and it's not like a 5-second like quick little thing at the end of a video that doesn't pertain to it. Like I need to be able to get like full on information. Like I need to know, oh, this red supporter with crit rate and crit damage is coming. Just because like every game does that. Like no, I haven't played a game yet with like that's a live service game that doesn't tell you what it's doing in advance. This is the first game I've ever played like this, where I genuinely have no clue what's going to happen.
I think one of the reasons why it's essential to do that as well is it actually lets them get player feedback before the content's come out. So
well, that's another thing. That just means they need a freaking beta server, like because they have a beta server because it says in the what is it? Just official Action Taimanin YouTube. I'm just gonna call it Taimanin TV USA. There we go. It says in the Taimanin TV USA whenever they use gameplay footage, if you read the description, it does state that it's a beta server. So they do have a beta server. I think they should like let people apply to that server and test the content before it's out, like, and do like a limit, like say maybe like 1,000 players can come in and do the test or whatever their server can handle. That's because that's
due to that it will turn into something like League of Legends where everyone just looks at the new shiny and doesn't actually comment on how it is.
What are you talking about? That's not what happens because they use it and they do this in Honkai and other gachas, and what ends up happening is it's like, okay, so content creators get priority and then like other people in the community just get chosen at random, and then a lot of people actually make guides about what's in there, or they make videos about what's in there, and they say this is what's in here, this is what it does, this is the gear it has, and whatever and what have you, and that would just be more information coming out because MiHoYo, for example, doesn't put like an NDA on their beta server, so you can actually like tell people what's coming, and then the community gives feedback, and what they do is they do a second run. Because they do 3 tests. The first test is the initial test. Then after the first feedback, they do a second run where they change things and add gear for the character. The character is just added without her gear. Then she's added with her gear in part 2. Then in part 3, they apply all nerfs and all tweaks to gear and are any buffs needed, and that's the final beta test. And then the character comes out, and after that final beta test, whatever feedback people had, they apply that for the live version. So the character literally goes through like a community-wide quality assurance, where it comes out right most of the time. You get what I'm saying? Because it's just 3 tests. And they literally do this the month before every patch. They go, okay, the beta's up.
Well, I think it would definitely be good to actually have some, like...
Because right now, who's beta testing the game? Like we know there's very little quality assurance with how Felicia came out, with how stuff ends up bugged, like how Nui's clone didn't work for months. We know that invincibility supporters are bugged every now and then where the invincibility doesn't work. So, like, really, what kind of testing are they doing? It almost feels like sometimes the game itself is a beta.
Well, not to mention that QA, if there was actually some serious players QAing it as well, and I'm not saying there isn't, because I'm not going to shit on QAs. Things like...
Yeah, I'm not saying there are, I'm just saying who is, because a lot of stuff has come out that is questionable. Like, it makes me wonder, did they QA, did they, like... who's actually testing the game is what I mean. Like, how did Kirara and Ingrid Forever, for example, come out of testing with no sustain? Like, did they get played in tower? You know, did they bring these characters into the beta, put them in tower, and, like, figure out what they can do? You get what I'm saying? These are the things I wonder about. Because this is what happens during those Honkai beta tests, and it's genius because they make the players do it. It's literally free. It's free labor. But the players are excited to do it because it's the game they love, you know? So it doesn't, like, come off like shady. But having the people who actually play the game quality test it is a good thing. Because they know what what should be happening in the game. Sometimes devs make the game and don't play it. Hello? Alright, 1 second, guys. Discord has been an issue lately. Yeah, the Discord server is on fire. It happened the other day when I did a video. But my point being is, like, I would love for a beta server to be here. Tak and Ark aren't really here right now. And I would love for things like Tower to actually reset. Because... or maybe it's my internet. Well, that's fantastic. But I would love for things like Tower to actually reset. Because at this point, like, the game has become really stagnant. After, like, the rewarding, super rewarding, like, Waifu War... now we're kind of like getting chokeholded for gems for wedding skins. I know like swimsuits are around the corner. And whatever else they may add, we just need the game to overall be more rewarding. So Tower Reset is definitely the top of my wish list. Beta server that actually like lets players go in there. And like for example, like we'll say 500 people apply, get in. And then they can like release content to players or release guides or just say what's in there. And it shouldn't have an NDA so we can all have an idea of what's coming. They should just be more transparent overall. And even if they don't add the beta server, they should show us in videos, you know, oh, this is what the new support does. Like more in depth than just like showing a quick gameplay clip on a lower level character. And outside of that, yeah, like Magical Girl Lilith needs to be playable. And Shizuru. But I'm going to end the video here because my internet kind of dawdled on me. Sorry about that, but we all know I have a weak connection at this point. So you guys go ahead. Leave your comments. I would love to hear what you guys wish for or you know, whatever critiques you have about the game. Because it's just kind of a discussion about the state of the game at this point. And go ahead. Have a great rest of your day. Good luck in all facets of the game. And you boys and gals take care, and I'll catch you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.